Semifinal round number 2 here, the Laurel Lanes Open in Plainville. We're getting set for our next match, and it's a similar matchup to the first round. We've got New York against Connecticut, Frankie Calca against Scott Widmer, and it's lefty against righty. Widmer in the red will lead things off here in match number 2, the winner to take on Thomas Coco. And Widmer is your righty from New Hartford, Connecticut. And he'll start looking for a spare.
Solid 9-pin right off the bat. You're going to see Scott bowl similarly to Matt last game in the middle of the lane. You got to try to make sure that you control that slide out to the break point and then the hook back in to the pins. That came in a little bit strong. He's going to have to move a hair left. It was a great shot. But again, the righty's in the middle of the lane. You're going to see Frankie, the lefty, all the way to the gutter using that big angle.
Widmer with a 226 average picks up the 9 for a spare. Now, do these bowlers, they should have the advantage of watching the first competition and seeing how the lanes are reacting?
You definitely do think so. Scott should have been watching Matt and his ball reaction and maybe moving off that. And Frankie could definitely see Tom and the success that he had on the corner of the lane like that.
Yes, it's interesting that we have the same righty versus lefty matchup that we had in match number 1. And Frankie Calca releases and strikes to start.
A great shot by Frankie. I noticed that his bowling ball that he's using actually travels a little bit further down the lane more than Tom's did. And what that's going to do is it's going to delay the reaction a little bit. So it's going to go further in the oil, but when it hits the dry, it's going to come in on even a more steep angle.
Sharper angle.
Yes. And that may leave him susceptible to corner pins, like a 7-pin here and there. I don't think Tom left a 7-pin at all last match. So we're going to see how that works out.
Calca's second frame, and he hasn't left a pin yet.
That was flush right there.
2 straight strikes for Calca out of Elmont, New York, a 5-time NEBA winner.
I also noticed both of these bowlers, all Storm equipment as well. All 4 of the finalists here at the NEBA tournament today, all using Storm equipment.
Here is Scott Widmer. And he hit the pocket coming back in and lays him out.
Boy, he's got a great release, very strong and powerful, and he doesn't really look like he's doing much. His wrist is cupped up underneath that bowling ball. He throws it with a lot more speed, which will actually delay the hook as well. So he's going to get it through the oil with a lot more speed, but he's got enough revolutions to bring that ball back and hit the pocket a little bit harder than Matt's did in game 1.
Scott Widmer, a 38-year-old web developer from New Hartford and a 3-time NEBA champion.
Should we nickname him the Spider? Web developer?
Spider-Man. He spun a split.
The bad break right there. He missed his target left a little bit. You saw the follow through was a little bit left of target. The ball came up, hit hard right through the nose. 4-6 split, virtually impossible. You just have to get one, hope for the best, and thankfully it's early in the match.
Look at it again, see where things may have gotten away from him. Well, not time. He gave it a little run, picked up the 6, and will settle for an open frame, but it's still early in this match. You can see his concentration now and what he's thinking. So Widmer with the open frame, and here's Frankie Kalka, bookkeeper from Elmont, New York. Gobble, gobble. That's 3 straight to start this match.
It's a great shot by Frankie. Right now, we don't notice anything different as far as the carry compared to Tom Coco in game 1. He's getting the ball to finish soon enough to where it's not going to hurt him with pin carry. That ball is definitely coming in on the extreme angle, though. He's about 7 or 8 at the arrows. He doesn't go out towards the left like I thought he would. I got a different angle right here. He's a little bit more straighter, so that's going to help him. The ball that goes longer, he's not really sending it out to the left.
4th frame. 4 straight.
That's a wall banger right there. He actually came in light, and you saw the pins come flying off the side walls. Great break, great carry. He's got it all going right here.
And he's not going as far to the outside as you expected, huh?
No, he's a little bit straighter than I thought.
He's finding the pocket flush, though. So 4 straight for Frankie Kalka, and now trying to erase the memory of the open frame is Scott Widmer.
So Scott has to control 3 variables. He's got to control the amount that his ball gets out to the right, when it starts snapping back, and then how much it snaps back. That was a good shot.
Well, you were absolutely right. That's why you're the expert. The New Haven Hall of Famer, Don Harger, saw it before the pins started to spray.
You know, his backswing was perfect. His timing was perfect. He was solid at the line. I absolutely just knew that it wasn't going to be a bad ball.
Plenty of action.
He just has to stop worrying. You know, forget about the score right now. Just make a bunch of shots just like that. Put a little pressure on your opponent. See what happens.
Widmer has 18 800 series to his credit. Well, that one never reached the pocket, and he nearly got a strike.
He got fast with his feet right there. He didn't stay low on the delivery. The ball went dead right. It didn't have anything on it. He was able to get a good break, leaving 7, and then he got a trip 4 and a 2 to come back. He's looking at the head pin right now, an easy spare, but he really needed to kind of string a few together right there.
So Widmer, you see, 48 through 3. And 68 through 4 for Scott Widmer.
So Scott just has to settle down a little bit and repeat the shot he made the frame before. While Frankie, he just wants to put the pedal to the metal right here. 1 or 2 more, and he's going to be feeling good about himself.
Here's Frankie Kalka in the 5th frame. It came around, and that you talked about, leaving those corners. He left them both.
You know, right when he released that ball, the camera angle had a perfect shot. I saw the ball go out to the left. As I mentioned a frame or 2 before, Frankie's ball wasn't going to the left. It was going a little bit straighter. He got that ball left, and he spun it a little bit, and it didn't carry at all.
And he used that plastic ball, I guess, to finish off one of the 2 on that 7-10 split. So the open frame for Kalka certainly giving Widmer thoughts of getting right back into the match.
Yeah, Norm, I've seen my share of bad break 7-10s. I think if you ask Frankie, I don't think he threw that ball as well as he wanted to. The ball got a little left, and he came over the top of the ball, spun it a little bit. That's what happens.
Kalka comes back here in the 6th frame and has some work to do.
So that was kind of a safe shot right there. Hit the pocket, the big angle, got 8. It's going to make a pretty easy spare right here, but Scott's got to feel good about this. This is an opportunity right here to get right back into the match.
Kalka began with 4 straight strikes. And he stayed with the the #1 ball and picked up the spare.
Usually for left-handed bowlers, any spares on the right-hand side, they're going to stay with their strike ball, use that angle. If they shoot at spares on the left-hand side, they want to take away that break, so they use plastic. Same thing with righties. Any spare on the left side, they're going to use the first ball.
So here's Scott Widmer in his 6th frame. He sees an opportunity, I'm sure.
He just has to settle down and make a real good shot right here.
He made a pretty good one.
Perfect.
So he jumps back into this match. Take a look at it. Why was it so good?
So solid at the foul line right there. Everything was going right, and he had the result that he wanted to get.
It doesn't travel in and out to great extremes.
No, he's actually picked up his speed a little bit, which allows you to throw it a little bit straighter, so you don't have to control the big, the skid out to the right and the big break back to the left. As long as you can keep your carry, straighter is always greater.
88 through 5. Make it 2 straight. Widmer's back in this match.
That was a great shot right there. I don't think he's felt comfortable on the left lane all match yet. He just threw the ball as perfect as you can, got the result he wanted. Maybe that'll help him settle down. If you see, now he's almost over the center arrow, so he definitely moved about 3 boards left, throwing a little bit harder, a little bit straighter, getting the results.
Kalka quickly up and releasing and taking care of business.
Very smart shot from Frankie. He didn't want his opponent to feel so good so long, so he got up there in a hurry, and he kind of reminded Scott, hey, you know what? I know where the pocket is too.
We got a pretty tight match. Calca at 116 through 5 and 136 through 6. Take a look at it.
Right over about the sixth board, but again, he didn't get it left. He went pretty much straight right up there.
He didn't get it flush either in the pocket.
If that big angle that you come in on, all you have to do is hit the pocket, and you definitely increase your strike percentage. Don't have to come in flush all the time.
Kalka in the 8th. Taking care of business one more time for the turkey.
That was a great shot right there. You definitely don't want to give your opponent a little bit more of an opening. And he came up and doubled, answered the call right when Scott doubled.
136 through 6 for Frankie Kalka. In fact, dead even through 6.
So Scott has the lanes figured out now. He just has to settle down, repeat shots.
Got a break there.
By going harder and straighter, you absolutely increase your chances of getting breaks like that. If he was playing a slow, bigger break point and you come in that high, that's a huge split. Everybody should understand, especially bowling head-to-head like this, you don't get any points for the way everything looks. You're just trying to knock down more pins than the other guy. Sometimes harder, straighter is greater, harder is better, and you eliminate that chance to leave that big split. That was a huge break right there.
3 straight now for Widmer, working here in the 9th frame. You want to explain that one?
He missed right again. Today you couldn't miss right unless you stayed down and threw the ball a little bit slower to give it time to come back. We talked about him moving left. We talked about him increasing his speed. You don't want to miss your target right. That ball went over 16th board when he played the 19th board last frame, and it just didn't have enough to come back because he's throwing it a little bit harder now.
It seemed to flatten out at the very end. The angles just evaporated.
Absolutely. It's all about angles and coming into the pocket and increasing your strike percentage.
Well, the spare is earned by Scott Widmer. And through 9. Well, these are 145 through 7. 162 plus through 8. And Kalka. And as you called it at the beginning of the match, the corner pin, the 7, wouldn't budge.
Again, the extreme angle, he's using a piece of equipment that goes a long way down the lane. It stores that energy. That particular ball just went a little bit too far, came back behind the head pin, and he got the 4 pin to wrap around the 7.
Well, Calca picks up the spare. What are we looking at as far as score-wise here? As we see Calca with a 20 pin advantage through 8.
So Frankie's playing the extreme outside angle. He doesn't want to get slow, and he doesn't want to miss by too much. So this might be a safe shot. He's just going to try to tickle the pocket, stay clean. Being up 20 pins, you don't want to throw the ball right through the nose.
Well, he did a little better than safe.
That's all he needed right there. That was a great shot.
And Frankie Calca will move on. It has been New York taking care of Connecticut in our 2 semifinals. Look at this one, the winning shot.
Again, straight up the boards, 6th board. Ball came right in. That one got the kiss off the 4 pin.
And that time the 8 stayed up straight.
Oh, good shot. No, that got right.
Rapid fire between these two, finishing it out. The 5 left by Widmer.
So now it becomes which lefty is going to make the better shots.
We got an all Southpaw final, an all New York Southpaw final. Widmer wrapping it up. And he'll have one more roll. 224, the final score for Frankie Calca. He'll win by at least 20.
I know Richie DePalma just turned his television off. He thinks there's this big conspiracy of lefties and righties.
And they want lefties to win all the time?
Yeah, he thinks that's what happens.
To get more lefties involved?
Well, it's just easier, and I'm just making a joke about it. But
yeah,
there's so many righties to a few lefties. The lefties don't have to make the adjustments that the righties have to make as fast and as often, and it's just part of the game.
Sounds like they may be sophomores, but some sour grapes from about the Southpaws.
Yeah, I'm just teasing a Hall of Famer.
Well, Widmer's just going to finish it off, get a little more face time.
That went left.
224 to 202. Frankie Calca moves on. Tom Kalka, Frankie Calca. The matchup in our finals. We're going to step away and come back with the championship match. Here are the Laurel Lanes Open. You're watching the New England Bowling Association on CPTV Sports.